going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the NBA Slate Starter Podcast. I'm Eric, joined with my buddy Ryan as we break down Monday's 7-game NBA DFS slate on DraftKings, FanDuel, and our sponsor, Yahoo. I do not have a TV in the background because, I guess I do over in this corner, but no Yahoo TV in the background to show our lovely sponsor, so I'm going to just have to say their name more. Yahoo. Either way, I'm here in Arizona having some fun kicking it here with my parents who are snowbirding down here for the winter. Checking in on them, making sure everything's taken care of, but played a little bit of action, mainly did bets because sportsbooks in Arizona confirmed a thing. Ryan, I'm sure you played some DFS. How's your night going?
Yeah, it was a very fun slate to attack. I think there was a lot of good value that we could take advantage of. It's just going to come down to not having enough Miles Bridges. I mean, when a guy drops 57 at sub 8K on DK, you're going to need that 57. A little overexposed to Cade Cunningham. He didn't do much in overtime. I think he had less than a point in overtime, so that was disappointing. But a ton of good free squares on the board. Dennis Schroeder outperformed that price tag by a significant amount. But there's a late night hammer with guys like Dwight Howard, LeBron James, CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram. So we'll see what ends up happening at the end of the night.
Man, it's crazy because – well, there were some crazy games, actually. That Dallas comeback was ridiculous. I was eating pizza watching that one, trying to get my bets in. You know, sometimes the geolocation thing, that's a whole nother conversation. But had an absolute blast watching those. Played quite a bit at DFS as well. I'm going to need LeBron James to go completely nuts in a couple spots. But as I always say this, if games go to overtime, there's death, taxes, and somebody game stacked it. So people game stacked with Sadiq Bey and Hamidou Diallo and Kelly Olynyk and all these dudes went nuts. And Miles Bridges on the other side, if you could have avoided the LaMelo Ball landmine, I guess he put up over 40, but that's not good enough in 9,600. Absolutely wild slate, but Zubats, our boy, absolute smash against the Houston front court. That one felt good to get right. Get one in the category. We'll see how it pans out. Lots still to come, as you said, in this late night hammer. Another half of basketball for the Lakers, which I'm not really that excited to go watch because they suck. They're not a very good brand of basketball. But LeBron James, I'm going to enjoy as many years as we got left of him. Guys, smash the like button, subscribe button, notification bell. I dilly-dally at the top of these shows. You guys know that. But it's time to talk some DFS. We've got a 7-gamer to get to. You ready to get going? My well-fitted, super illuminated, in my absence, dude.
Let's ride.
I did call you dude anyway. I couldn't help it. Guard spot, top end on DraftKings, 10-6, DeJounte Murray. This is going to be fascinating. None of these guys are on the injury report coming off of all of them being out here. So you go from San Antonio being the most value-laden team to now DeJounte Murray, Devin Vassell, Lonnie Walker. Trey Jones isn't even a thing. You got Keldon Johnson, Doug McDermott, who's, I guess, he's fine as well. No, he's questionable. He's the one guy who's questionable from that brigade of guys that played. So DeJounte Murray becomes really the only target for the entire team at this point. Find that to be fascinating against Memphis. Oh, John Morant on the other side is sub 10K. This guy, you've had an interesting relationship with. He was up over 10K. He has one game where he puts up 40.5. Then he's down below the 10K threshold, puts up 56.5 against Chicago, is getting to the line at a ridiculous clip in some of these games. 25 and 15 free throw attempts in 2 of his last 3. 9 is the one sandwiched in between, which isn't too shabby in and of itself. This guy is making things happen offensively for this Memphis team in the absence of Dillon Brooks and just showing why he is a guy that should be up for most improved player. And then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We had Josh Giddey ruled out of the middle of nowhere last game, then said that he was going to miss some time, was the exact quote. I think we're looking at Shai being a guy who's actually in play at 9,600, which I didn't know if he was going to play the rest of the year. And now I'm thinking about rostering him at nearly 10K. Call me crazy, Ryan.
Yeah, you're going to have a ton of interest up top. One of those guards, DeJounte Murray is going to be very low owned, 10-6. All he does is continue to crush, even at 10-6. But I do prefer saving $900 and going to a John Morant in that game. That's pretty exciting. Then SGA taking on a Sacramento team. Good game environment for him. I have no issues if you fall on SGA. He's going to kind of control that offense for them. Now the next tier, guys, just looking at the situation there, there's a LaMelo Ball at $9,100. Milwaukee spot, they're going to be on a back-to-back. I'd rather save and go to Halliburton or Van Vliet in the 8.6 or 8K range. That makes a ton of sense. Now, looking at other guards around there, De'Aaron Fox, 8,500, priced up now. I think it's priced appropriately. It's an OKC spot. You can definitely put up a great performance. I like both Middleton and Drew Holiday in the Charlotte matchup just because it's against Charlotte, and they're both sub 8K. They one of them can put up high 40s, no doubt about it, and that's pretty solid. And there's just respective price tags. I think I'm going to be shy away from Terry Rozier after an amazing game today. I'd rather save the 900 and go to like a guy like Anthony Edwards at 7K. Anthony Edwards coming in a cheap 7K price tag. Weird to see him and Buddy Hield priced identically on DraftKings. Now, looking to save some dollars and some salary relief. I know Jalen Suggs burned everyone yesterday, and it's tough for me to go there again with Markelle Fultz returning for this Orlando Magic team after turning out his ACL. It's been a while since we've seen Markelle Fultz, so we'll see how many minutes Fultz is actually going to play. Looking at other guys, I think you can go to Brandon Goodwin at 5,200 in a Minnesota matchup. Goodwin's going to have to play a ton of minutes for this Cleveland team, so I like going to Brandon Goodwin and Pat Beverly on the other side, 5K. No one really else sticks out to me. Sub 4K. I think a guy you can target is probably Gabe Vincent. He's
That's the guy for me.
$3,600. I think you can go to Gabe Vincent tomorrow with no Kyle Lowry, as Kyle Lowry has been ruled out for personal reasons. Big bump for Tyler Hero as well. So Gabe Vincent, sub 4K, is definitely in play tomorrow.
Yeah, year-log leagues, I went and picked up Gabe Vincent. We don't know. Kyle Lowry was out for a long time for personal reasons last time. I don't know how long he'll be out this time. I hope he's doing okay. That's kind of what you always think about. It's like these athletes, we just talk about them in terms of what their salary is, their fantasy production, and trying to make money off of them. But, you know, he's a dude too, and stuff happens in life. So it's whatever. That's about all I have to say about that. But Kyle Lowry, definitely, with his absence, Gabe Vincent, 3,600, will be popular. I don't think there's any doubt about that, and I think he should be. We saw him play, mid-30s minutes. There's Max Strus and some of these other guys who can play some minutes, and that makes it a little bit more difficult. I would like to see Caleb Barton ruled out to make that even a little bit more secure, considering he played 29 useless minutes against San Antonio the other night. If he gets off the floor, Gabe Vincent could play a lot. That's enough about him. He's just a good play. Let's head to the guard spot over on FanDuel. John Morant, 10-1. DeJounte Murray, 9,700. So a little bit different pricing structure. Play multiple sites. That's all I have to say about that. Shea, 9,600. We've got Tyrese Halliburton, 9,200. Can't really be doing that anymore. As much as I love this man, and I just didn't expect Malcolm Brogdon to come back, but now Malcolm Brogdon becomes the guy I want to target. He's sub 6K over on FanDuel. Think about it this way. He's cheaper than Jalen Suggs, who has Cole Anthony, RJ Hampton, and now we're returning Markelle Fultz. I mean, Malcolm Brogdon is a guy that I might be looking to play on FanDuel. How about you, Ryan?
Yeah, Brogdon definitely sticks out. Keep in mind, it's a back-to-back for Brogdon. He's obviously been dealing with the injury situation, so definitely a non-zero chance we don't see him play tomorrow. But if he plays, I think we can definitely go to Malcolm Brogdon. Extremely buy low opportunity. Not buy low. He's going to be very popular, but it's salary in terms of buying low. Looking at other value guards here, there's a Pat Bev, there's a Tyler Hero, Vincent and Goodwin at $5,161, $5,300, and $3,900 respectively. Makes a lot of sense to consider those guys as value options. But if you want to spend up, Anthony Edwards, 7K. That's cheap for Anthony Edwards. He's going to have one of these games. I know he's kind of like hit like a weird slump, but I think he should be fine to bounce back. Middleton is great as well at $7,500. But if you want to spend up a little bit, SGA, DeJounte Murray. I prefer DeJounte Murray to John Morant here because of the savings. But it's a guard position that's pretty loaded, pretty much from top to bottom with all the news that we already have with the Kyle Lowry situation. And some guys are just kind of mispriced with Brogdon if he's going to play at $5,800. So it's a pretty loaded guard position. I really like Drew Holiday as well here, $7,500.
Yeah, the top-end guys are too cheap, and then we've got all these mid-range plays, and then we've got cheapies. Guard is a pretty target-rich environment up and down the board, no doubt about it. I don't know if I have anything to add from DraftKings FanDuel. Obviously, pay attention to that Malcolm Brogdon news. That's definitely a great point you bring up there. Super likely that he wouldn't play, you would think, but this is also Indiana, and they don't care about Malcolm Brogdon or his injuries. They just play him a merciless amount when they give him an opportunity to. I guess he's been around 30 minutes the last two, but you all know what I mean. We know what I mean. Let's head to the guard spot over on our sponsor, Yahoo. DeJounte Murray's $50 at the top end. John Morant, 46. Fun, different sites, flip-flopping in terms of who's more expensive. It's going to be different puzzles to put together. But Shea at $38 really sticks out to me. In the event, no matter what, I think Terry Rozier, $31. We'll see if anybody from Charlotte in an overtime game. I can't imagine anybody's going to sit on a back-to-back. You just never know. I can't predict the future, but it would make sense if somebody rested, I suppose. Maybe not. Milwaukee, you would expect them to be dogs big time on this back-to-back. But looking at a little bit further down the salary spectrum, you brought up Beverly on other sites. $17, probably a little too expensive. My guy Gabe Vincent there at $13 really sticks out to me as a guy to be rostering at will. A little bit further down, there's really nothing under $13 that I like all that much. It's going to be more expensive than that. Who are some of your favorite guards to get to on Yahoo, Ryan?
Yeah, looking at the guards at Yahoo, it's spending all the way down to guys like Goodwin and Vincent, $13 a pop there. I have no issues going to one of those guys. Grayson Allen is $10. The minute should be on the table for him. DiVincenzo is going to have one of these games for Sacramento. Why not against OKC? So I know he's not the lead dog there, but $10, he can definitely get things done. Really like going to Tyler Hero at $26 with no Lowry. Holiday priced around $34. And I like De'Aaron Fox here at $32. So this kind of make those guys to spend up kind of low owned. We're going to see low ownership on guys like Halliburton, Van Vliet, SGA. All of those guys are pretty awesome plays at their price tag. Yahoo hasn't priced these guys up as aggressively as they once they thought they usually might. So I think going to the bottom tier with Vincent and Goodwin in one guard spot and then paying up for one of those studs up top make a lot of sense as an early roster build.
The Lakers only have 37 points in the first half right now. Oh, they just made a 40 points. Congratulations. You're still such a terrible basketball team. Dwight Howard, 3K, the chalk du jour today, 52% in that main tournament on DK. He's at 16.5, so he's still going to get there. That was good for me. We'll see. Good for everybody. Yahoo. Head over there, play at our sponsor, Yahoo. Here's why. You get 1 free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum, which is awesome. We have the best site in the industry. I don't think it's remotely close. Best projections for every sport, best tools, whether that's the top fighters tool in MMA, top golfers tool in PGA, the boom bust tool for the NBA, so on and so forth. That's fantastic. But really what it is this a long-term commitment to playing over at Yahoo where there's the lowest management fee or rake, whatever you'd like to call it, around 10, 11, 12% max on any tournaments. That's so different than the 15, 16, 17% you're paying for on DraftKings and FanDuel in certain tournaments. That kind of money goes a long ways once you put it back into the ecosystem in Yahoo, play your money there. You're just going to make more money back in the long run. It's a really fun site, super easy in terms of how the salary construction goes together. Plus, we have all those tools to help you be profitable at Yahoo. So really, it's a win-win. You get that Awesemo Plus Platinum, so stop guessing, start winning, and join us here today with that. But mainly, you get to play over at Yahoo every single day for sports like the NBA. They also have great contests for golf, which have been popping up more and more. NHL, so many great things. Jump over, check out our sponsor, Yahoo, and I promise you will not be sorry. All right, let's head to the forward spot over here on DraftKings Sizzle. 12K, Giannis Antetokounmpo, 12K up top against Charlotte. Charlotte, number 2 in pace in the NBA this season, slightly trailing Houston. Always a good game environment, and we're talking about the best fantasy player on planet Earth over the last 3 years. So Giannis, yay, 12K, you should probably roster him. DeMar DeRozan, 10-2, the master of the mid-range, the reincarnated career of DeMar DeRozan. Had his worst outing in a long time against Memphis there. That's going to happen from time to time, but 10 for 29 from the field. I think he can go right back to it. 10-2 seems expensive, but even in a game he didn't shoot it very well, he puts up 51 fantasy points. So, like, legitimately, if he shoots the ball better, there is a massive, massive ceiling that could be had there. Against Miami, though, it feels pretty gross to want to take that shot, but super low ownership makes me want to try to take that shot anyway. Jimmy Butler, 8,900 against Chicago. He's going to be much more popular than DeMar DeRozan here in the absence of Kyle Lowry. Assist rate's going to take a little bump up. Bam Adebayo's been playing really well. They've been having a really nice two-man game in some of these spots from games I've been watching. But Jimmy Butler is going to have one of those massive 50-plus fantasy point games. And at sub 9K, he really jumps into discussion there. But you said Chris Middleton, 7,600 against Charlotte. I got to love that too. And Miles Bridges, the man of the hour, 7,500 back-to-back. Does he do it again? We shall see. Talk to me about the forward spot here at the top end on DraftKings, Ryan.
Yeah, looking at the forward spot top end, I mean, Giannis headlines the position in a matchup versus Charlotte. I like going to Giannis if you can find the value to do so. High 60s, 60-point floor kind of the way Giannis, I know he was kind of disappointing against that Brooklyn matchup, but I think he can definitely bounce back and give a nice fantasy output for us. Jimmy Butler, 8,900 is pretty outstanding. Tough for me to go to DeMar. The narrative is done as he didn't get it last time out. So 10-2, I really can't go to DeMar DeRozan anymore. We're getting a discounted Pascal Siakam at $8,400. I like that a lot. Middleton at 7,600. I like getting it's one of the Bucks' big three. It seems like one of those guys is going to do well in a Charlotte matchup. Now, spending down a little bit, it's tough. I think we might get Caleb Martin to play some additional minutes with the lack of Kyle Lowry there. He's only $3,200. It's kind of gross, but other guys who getting a ton of minutes. We saw Bruce Brown play a lot of minutes, but he's priced up now at $5,100. Guys who still haven't been priced up all the way. Thad Young is $3,400. I think we can go to him in a Brooklyn spot. He's $3,400. He doesn't need to do much at this forward. Forward is kind of the opposite of guard. There's not that many of great options outside of the guys up top. In the mid tier, I guess Scotty Barnes, $5,700 at Brooklyn. Yeah, he's priced a little too cheap to target, so I like him. I think we should definitely be targeting Scotty Barnes.
Yeah, forward down here sucks. It is terrible.
Yeah,
it is awful.
Yeah, it's pretty ugly down there. We'll see. I mean, not many teams that play today don't play tomorrow, so maybe some teams that are on the front end of a back-to-back will have to deal with some news. But sorry, I take that back. Teams that the Pacers play on, Pacers are going to be on a back end of a back-to-back.
Yeah, a guy like Keita Bates-Diop, he went completely nuts, broke the slate the other night at 3K. He's 3,200. Everybody else is around him and back in San Antonio. We can't even do something like that. Mo Harkless is the most useless starter in the history of basketball the last two games for Sacramento. 13 minutes apiece. Sorry, that was maybe a little bit dramatic for a guy that, how could you be Mo Harkless? Had to do it for the people. People asked for it. Actually, no, they didn't. But at the top end here, I want to amend one thing. I thought Vooch was questionable. He's probable coming into tomorrow. He has that big Q tag next to his name. So DeMar DeRozan, I do not want to roster him at 10-2. That's a lot of money. I assumed that Vooch was questionable. I assumed incorrectly. So I was going to talk about that at the center spot. Therefore, yeah, with all the big three there, 10-2 is a lot to pay for him. But I suppose a 1% or 2% DeMar DeRozan can always get there. Maybe you take that shot. I don't really know. Now I'm second guessing myself. To the top end of forward on FanDuel, Giannis is 11.5. They're giving you a nice discount. Here is this freebie for you. DeMar DeRozan 10.3. Yeah, too expensive still over there. Bam Adebayo is 9,900 over on FanDuel, where you can still play him at a power forward spot. And, you know, he's gone completely ham in back-to-back games, only playing 34 minutes. I don't think people understand how good he has been playing from a real life and fantasy standpoint the last couple games. He's had 5 stocks in those last 2 games. That's definitely buoyed some fantasy output over on FanDuel, and you're paying a heavy freight for him against Chicago. But Vooch, notoriously not good at the old defense, so that's useful. Jimmy Butler's 8,600. That's a broken tag and is going to be crazy popular. Miles Bridges 7,800 there as well. Top end looks a little bit better as far as like there's definitely some pricing that I can get behind. I mean, the Giannis play is just freebie. Jimmy Butler seems way too cheap, but who else sticks out to you at forward on FanDuel, Ryan?
Yeah, Giannis looks great at 11.5. Small forward, power forward eligibility. Next tier guys, I mean, Bam and Siakam are solid. Love Butler at 8,600. Kind of puts Sabonis on an island at 9,700. I prefer Sabonis to Bam now that I think about it more. We're going to get a heavily owned Jared Allen, power forward center at $7,200. Yep. That makes a lot of sense. I prefer Allen to Mobley here, just because of all things put together. We've seen Wendell Carter play really well. Everyone eats against Indy. Things might be a little different now, but I like Anthony Edwards also at 7K. We touched on him. Bobby Portis in the Charlotte spot. Man, Bobby Portis went 8 of 14 against the Brooklyn Nets from 3 the other night.
Nuts.
A pretty wild performance by him.
And they lost.
Yeah, and they lost. Kyrie won the game on his own. Kevin Love is now sub 5K. He's at $4,500. He doesn't need to do much to pay that off. He's $500 more than Thad Young, which is fine. But Tyler Hero, $6,100 only, so he's pretty great as well. Kind of an opposite situation. Much better small forward, power forward options on FanDuel with the pricing than there is on DK at this moment.
Agreed. It is just DraftKings. We're going to need some news. Something's got to change for the forward spot, but otherwise we're going to be punting at guard, which sucks because I like a lot of the spend up guards as well here. Forward on our sponsor Yahoo, Giannis, $56. That's useful, but that is expensive. Most expensive compared to the cap out of any site, and it's not remotely close. Against Charlotte, probably the only site that's appropriately priced him for what he should be. He should be over 12K on DraftKings. He should be way over 11.5 on FanDuel, and he should certainly be around this $56 number on Yahoo. So I'd say appropriately priced for the matchup. DeMar, 46. Nope. Jimmy Butler, 38, probably taking some shots there. Chris Middleton, 33. Decent enough there, but going back down here again, I think there might be some better punts. I would say, I don't know if Bruce Brown is something I want to try to make a thing here repeatedly. He is playing low 30s minutes, is active there in at least offensively trying to make some things happen. But a Toronto matchup isn't the best. The one positive, of course, is Kyrie Irving is out for any of these home games still. We'll see when that changes or how that changes. I don't understand the rules. I just read what happens, and he's out. So Bruce Brown may be a consideration there at the forward spot. Who sticks out to you for Yahoo, Ridpack?
Yeah, looking at the Yahoo slate right now, it's another spot where some of the spend down options definitely do stick out to me. There's a cheap $11 Jalen Smith. There's a $11 Cedi Osman. These guys are fine, and we saw O'Shea Brissett play well. He's priced up at $16. Now, if you want to spend up, I mean, there's Giannis at 56. He's very expensive here. There's enough value to jam him in. That's fine, but he's expensive here. He has to do a lot to pay out that price tag. Would rather save the $23 and go to Middleton at 33. Jimmy Butler's 38. I think he's fine. I think he's actually really good in a matchup versus Chicago. They're both Carter and Mobley are $30 each. That's Wendell Carter. One of those guys I think are in a good spot. Actually, both are in a pretty good spot. So I like going to one of those guys, but I would rather just save $3 more and then go to Anthony Edwards, who's 27, who's only 27. That's pretty cheap for Anthony Edwards. Big time potential for him to outperform that price tag by a decent amount. But he healed at 21, still in play, just because of the minutes he's playing. He's getting quite a bit of shot volume as well. So another guy to look at $21.
I say we just roster a lot of Scotty Barnes, a lot of Anthony Edwards at forward, and call it our I hate you lately lineup. We just make a bunch of guys that have just been burning us every slate, and they take us all to the promised land on the same night. How does that sound, Ryan? That's how this works, right? That
seems like the way it should go. I mean, DeMarcus Cousins is on triple-double watch in 10 minutes of play. Pretty impressive.
Is that for real?
18 minutes of play. Yeah, he has 19, 8, and 6 with 4 minutes to go. He might just get it. I don't know. Pretty impressive work by Boogie right now. They haven't lost the game.
He's owned too. He's 2% owned.
Sorry?
He's 2% owned.
Oh, wow. What was his
much
price?
Higher than I expected. He was 3K flat.
Oh.
The Dwight Howard pivot gets there. I hate when people use that. Play them both. That would be fun right now, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he is balling out, man. Cousins is balling out.
Play Luka, play Steph, play Miles Bridges, win money. There you go. See, I did it. I've solved the Rubik's Cube. Let's solve it for tomorrow. Center spot on DraftKings. You can play Giannis there, but Karl Anthony Towns, 9,800. against Cleveland. That'll be fascinating. Jared Allen, defensive monster, and Evan Mobley, defensive monster. This should be fun to watch. Domantas Sabonis, 9,500 against OKC. Center only now. No power forward over on DraftKings. That might change things a little bit going forward, but 9,500, I bet you have some interest there. Vooch is probable against Miami, 9,200. Bam Adebayo, 8,800. So cheaper for him there than it is to go after him over on FanDuel. But FanDuel, you can play him at power forward. Here, you're using up a center spot. I'm going to ask you about Jakob Poeltl. This dude is starting to put up some massive fantasy totals. And we knew it was there. And maybe Derek White getting shipped out was just a little bit of the push he needed to be assertive. He's been a double-double monster, now put up 20 and 10 in his last two back-to-back with 5 and 8 assists. Really involved offensively. How do you feel about Jakob Poeltl if he's going to be popular tomorrow?
Yeah, it's a center slate where obviously you can roster Giannis and Sabonis up top and Siakam, but Jakob Poeltl's fine. I think it's okay to fall on him at $7,300. It's nothing outstanding. I'd rather save or spend the same amount for Jared Allen, or save even more and fall on Andre Drummond, who seemed to get the trust of Steve Nash to play extended minutes the other day, as DraftKings didn't price him at $6,100.
Close the game. I want to throw that out there. Close the game for them against Milwaukee, which I didn't see happening.
Yeah, and he made some keep defensive plays down the stretch.
That block was great.
So I really like Drummond. So tough for me to have significant interest in a guy like Jakob Poeltl. Drummond leads I like a lot. I think Jared Allen's pretty awesome. And then Vooch is 9,200. He's questionable, right? So if for some reason Vooch is out, I think we can consider Tristan Thompson at $3,400 if there is no Vooch. But Thompson would play a decent amount of minutes, but it wouldn't shock me if they would start a guy like Tony Bradley and they just bring Thompson off the bench. So that's a moving situation with Vooch, I believe, questionable at this moment.
Yeah, I thought he was questionable. I guess he's probable is what it is on the report. I was going back and forth because I thought he was questionable, which was part of why I talked up DeMar there for a second. Anytime you get one of those guys out of the Levine, Vooch, and DeMar trio, somebody's got to benefit, and it's usually the other two guys explicitly. So I would definitely have exposure to any of those three in the event that one of them is ruled out, but doesn't look like it's going to happen. Only I wish. Mo Bamba, 4,700. Do we want to beat our heads against a wall and roster that?
I mean, long shot tournaments, he's been pretty awful of late to go to in any sort of confidence, and it's cheap, and he doesn't need to do much to pay off that price tag. But that's honestly, that's about it. I mean, it's tough to go there in any sort of confidence.
Well, if you don't have interest in a $4,700 Mo Bamba on DraftKings, can I interest you in a $4,500 Mo Bamba on FanDuel.com for tomorrow? That's my segue.
FanDuel, it's even more because you only get one.
And that's true. But he's cheaper.
He is cheaper. Scoring does benefit him more. I'd rather just spend that for a guy like Jared Allen. You can play Jared Allen power forward. Andre Drummond, 6,600. That's pretty awesome. So, no, I can't go to Bamba. It's just been so rough of late to go to him with any confidence. I like spending up for guys like Cat and Sabonis. Cat 9,500. I know Cleveland matchup, but Sabonis 9,700 versus Oklahoma City. You gotta love that. I mean, Sabonis has been a stud fantasy-wise since he's been around. So another thing that we've been seeing Sabonis playing a little bit of extended run when there's been no Richaun Holmes, but Holmes did play, I believe, last game, right? So
yes,
little different role when Holmes is around. I don't expect them to share much court time together. I don't know if they've shared court time together since the trade. But
Holmes did not play last game. He hasn't played since the break, the 16th.
So, yeah, this is what's been happening when Holmes hasn't been there. Sabonis has been getting like an extra, like a mini stint, like getting a little bit of the Holmes rotation his way. So he's getting run with the second unit where he's just dominating with usage.
Yeah, it's a good second unit to be a part of, considering you're going to probably get Isaiah Roby. If Favors starts tomorrow, you're going to get a Roby second unit. Mike Muscala is going to continue to be out. You're going to get Pokashevsky defense. That seems fun. These seem like things that are good for Sabonis, a polished offensive center. Don't worry, I see you smirking over there. I know what you're thinking. oh, who won the trade? That's not what I'm saying.
Oh, I didn't say anything about that. No, I was thinking about that. No.
You're thinking about Boogie. It's Boogie nights.
Yeah, that's quite the performance from Boogie, man. 42 fantasy points. Good for him.
Yeah. They locked him in for the rest of the season, so why not just...
They're just getting, like, their team fully back. I mean, they will go from, like, the worst second unit or, like, the worst team outside of Jokic to, like, a really good team once Jamal Murray and Michael Porter return real soon. So that should be fun to watch.
That was fun news to see Michael Porter Jr. expected in middle March.
JaMychal Green just put up 20 and 10 as well in limited minutes. So that's another very impressive outcome from JaMychal Green.
You got 40 out of JaMychal Green. You got 41.5 out of Boogie. And you got 49.5 out of Jokic, who's like, I don't know, $9,600 more than both of them. So that's cool. Let's head to Yahoo here. Again, we flew through today. Happy Monday, everybody. We're back. Center spot, Karl Anthony Towns, $41. Your most expensive guy on Yahoo. A punt by default spot. That's kind of fun. $41. Sabonis, $40. Bam, 38. Some expensive centers here. Pascal Siakam, 37. We haven't said his name yet. I'd probably like it there at that number. I believe Van Vliet. I mean, he's going to be questionable for a lot of games here if he's really this banged up, but maybe he gives it a go. But they probably don't even, I hate saying this because Brooklyn has Seth Curry. If Drummond plays like he did against Milwaukee, but I don't expect that all the time. Just saying that they could definitely go out. Toronto could go out and win this game. They're 2.5-point favorites as it is right now. Maybe that's assuming Fred VanVleet plays, but I think Pascal Siakam is definitely somebody to keep an eye on. Moving down further, you've got $30, Jared Allen and Jakob Poeltl. They seem to be priced identically across the industry in whatever fashion there. But the one guy I do want to bring up here is $14 Mo Bamba because I have to. I'm contractually obligated to ask you about him on every site in hopes that you give me a different answer because it's $14 for Mo Bamba.
Man, it's tough, man. They're going to have another body in rotation in Markelle Fultz there. It just doesn't help Orlando in any sort of way with Fultz returning. I just can't go there. I know it's against Indy. Really tough for me to go there in confidence. I'd rather save $4 and fall on a Thad Young. But starting up top, there's Sabonis at $40, Siakam at $37. I like those two guys a decent amount. Bam's also pretty solid at $38. It's going to put Cat really low owned at $41, which makes him an ideal tournament play. Drummond is 26. He's in play. You got to consider Drummond the way he played last game, but I think we can go to Andre Drummond. Steven Adams has been bowling out of late. I just don't know if it's real. And one thing that can help Steven Adams is Brandon Clark might not play tomorrow. So Adams might be forced to play even more minutes by a little bit. Man, this is not – these new fantasy rates from Adams are not real, right? I mean, I cannot go there.
21 boards last game. I don't think he's the New Zealand version of Moses Malone. I do not believe that. So I'm probably with you where I don't know if it's sustainable. I will say at $21, he's probably still in play. I'm more inclined to play him on a site like Yahoo or DraftKings where you can play too. And he's just like a complimentary piece to lineups. On FanDuel, I just can't play him where he's only one.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
All right. Well, guys, that is the Monday edition of the NBA Slate Starter Podcast. I'm going to have one more from this lovely seat more than likely tomorrow, barring something else. I'm going to do one more here, and then I'll be back in my regular spot Tuesday. For all of you people who just want to see me beautifully lit and looking gorgeous, just like Ryan over there, he's glowing like a... this could be a weird analogy. I'm not going to go there. Ryan, any final words for the people?
Now, please do leave those 5-star reviews. Those go a long way. The more 5-star reviews we get, the better it is for the podcast to continue. But outside of that, good luck, everyone. Fun Monday slate ahead. And hopefully we get some news, especially on DraftKings. But fun slate ahead. Good luck.
He's Ryan. He looks angelic. I'm Eric. I look angelic. We'll see you guys later. It's not a word.